Today is a really fun video because we're going to be expanding on a previous video where I made Orgonite. Today I'm going to be taking my own little twist on it by adding flowers, by trying to manipulate some wool inside the resin pieces, and just trying to give it my own flair. I really like how the last ones turned out, but I wanted these ones to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more impact when the sun hits it. For this video, I'm going to be using my crystal molds again. They are my favorite molds. I'm so glad they're still in pretty okay shape because I've used them so much. I'm also going to be using a shot glass mold to make a little bit of an incense holder. It's just a little tiny cup. You will see. And I'm also going to be making that with the Orgonite method as well, layering inorganic and organic materials throughout it, and coiling crystals and all that fun stuff. So we might as well get into it. Today's also really fun because I get to transform my van into studio / office time, which basically means I keep a tabletop under my bed and I get to pull that out, and it really gives me the space that I need to get everything done. Orgonite requires a lot of materials, so I just got to get organized and start collecting all of the materials that I'm going to use and really get prepared for my first pour. To start, I collected all the materials that I needed and opened up all the windows and doors of my van, which created a really nice cross breeze and perfect ventilation for working with resin. And I jump right into it by working on the first layer of our Orgonite pieces, which is coiled quartz crystals, and leaving a little bit of extra wire on the end so you can bend it around a popsicle stick, just so it can rest center and upright in the mold. Orgonite is a metaphysical property that is made to capture and cleanse Orgone energy that's in the atmosphere. It is often used as a healing crystal where many people hold Orgonite while they're meditating, and it is also very susceptible to being programmed and influenced just as regular crystals are. That's why the process of creating Orgonite is so particular. You have to be in a really calm state of mind and to focus on the intent of what you're making. So here I'm making a few extra coils just because it's a great source of inorganic material and I think it looks really nice. Next, I'm wrapping up some mica. Now, mica isn't just a beautiful mineral, it also has the spiritual significance of kind of like a empathetic mirror. It allows you to look inside yourself and really address any of the negative, hostile, or nervous energy without condemning or without any negativity. It really objectively helps you see within yourself. Now, crystal quartz is one of the most commonly used stones in Orgonite. This is because it's a prized healing stone. It's considered to be like the universal crystal with so many different positive properties like protection and the ability to amplify the energies of other crystals around it. Now, sea glass isn't exactly an organic material as it was once just man-made glass, but I decided to wrap it up because I thought it was so beautiful and has existed in the ocean for 20 to 50 years. And sea glass also just invokes thoughts of renewal and healing. I just thought it was a beautiful piece that kind of had a combination of inorganic and organic properties. I'm continuing by adding these little white flowers, some of the coils that I wrapped up, and these small raw sapphire crystals. Little fun fact, sapphire can actually come in many colors, not just blue. Next, I'm using some red carnation flowers. I love using these flowers because they dry so nicely, they keep such a great pigment, and they show up so nicely in the resin. Next, I snip off the popsicle sticks just to give myself some more room to add some gold leaf, copper fibers, more gemstones, more petals. So I wasn't so sure about putting woolen resin just because in all the videos that I watched of people making Orgonite, I never really see them using a layer of wool. And I don't really get this because wool looks so pretty in resin and it comes in so many different colors, and I feel like it's a hugely wasted opportunity. But after a little bit of research, I figured it was okay because I found out that the original Orgone acclimator boxes that were actually invented by Wilhelm Reich were composed of steel wool, acrylic felt, and sheep's wool. So I think this might be even more authentic. After cleaning up a little bit of the aftermath, the best part gets to happen. I get to unmold the crystals and see how they turned out. I was so into it while I was unmolding these, especially the little glass. Like, it turned out as perfect as I could imagine, and it was completely absorbed in the little whirls that were happening inside these resin pieces. So next I had to get out my Dremel and attach the most delicate end that I have. So I kind of dropped off working on the sphere Orgonite. I might pick it up later, but this always happens. Whenever I do a batch of resin, there's always something that doesn't make the cut, and I just really wanted to focus all of my attention on these crystals and on the little incense holder. So after a little bit of sanding to just make all of the edges perfect, I needed to do minimal touch-ups with a little glaze of resin. So all the pieces needed now was a little bit of a polish with a top coat of resin. To apply this resin, I just used an old paintbrush. It only needs to be applied in a really thin layer, and it makes a huge difference. It gets rid of all the scratches, all the sand marks, and really makes it glisten. There's nothing I find more satisfying than doing resin on a sunny day. Here are the final floral Orgonite crystals and incense holder. I think these pieces will make a really great addition to my collection of Orgonite that I have for sale on my Etsy shop. And if you want to check that out, there will be a link in the description. Despite all the controversies around Wilhelm Reich, he was undeniably an intelligent psychiatrist. His personal motto being, "Love, work, and knowledge are the wellsprings of our life, and they should also govern it." And from what I've read about him, I think he's earned my respect, for I find it pretty rare to find a scientist who is also a philosopher. So here are the finished crystals, and they sparkle more than anything else I've ever made, and I'm really happy to have made them. So thank you for watching, and see you on the next one. Thank you.